Hi. Yeah, no, I haven't been able to get over this starting to welcome you guys. I've been struggling to find a way to edit my videos. I'm very bad, but I'm gonna find a way to make my videos more exciting. So, welcome back to my channel. As the title suggests, this is a preview of a book that I'm working on, but it's also a preview of one of the books that I have written called You First, the Art of Self-Love. So the book that I'm going to preview, and the one that I'm working on, is called Only Mom Will Do. A mother-son enmeshment, a mother-son enmeshment, when a relationship with mom breaks boundaries. So the title is not as literal as it sounds, though it means literally what is written. I hope it makes sense. So I just want to explain a concept before I start. Enmeshment means a concept in psychology and psychotherapy introduced by Salvador Minuchin to describe families where personal boundaries are diffused, subsystems undifferentiated, and over concern for others leads to a loss of autonomous development. So basically, it's the concept where one does not have a separate, or is not allowed to have a separate identity for himself. It's very hard for one to actually see that they are in an enmeshed relationship unless somebody walks you through it, or unless you have a basic understanding in psychology. Fortunately for me, I've had somebody walk me through that. I also do have a basic understanding of psychology. I am an accredited counselor. I also have three diplomas in psychology, though I'm not a psychologist. I also do have about 18 to 20 accredited qualifications in psychology. But then anything that I write in my books is not advice or, uh, yeah. So before the time moves on, I'm gonna start with the first book that I have written. I'm gonna provide also a way to access the book. So I'm just gonna choose a chapter from the book called A Trip Across Time. I remember this one time I was on the school bus. Sorry, I sat next to this girl. She smelled like cigarettes. But the one thing that came to mind was not the cigarettes, but it was that I saw me in her. It was as if I went out of my body and could see myself the way everybody else sees me. I did not see the current me, but I saw the me I was, the me I no longer wanted to be. I wanted to stay like this, to stay like somebody who did not suffer severely from anxiety and panic attacks. Anybody who did not suffer from these things would have looked at her and seen a very calm person, but I did not. Amid that calmness, I saw somebody who was panicking silently. Somebody who had peace, at least just for the time being, until she could get away from the people or the multitude of walking kryptonite. I've got to admit, in the middle of this, I was on another planet. I was not just happy, I was ecstatic and wanted so bad to scream in her face. To put it blatantly, I was nearly convulsed with laughter. Not to laugh at her and her situation, but to laugh at the situation that wanted to kill me but couldn't. I was laughing at the times I couldn't be in a mall without headsets on, all the time where I'd spend hours trying to answer one exam question, or all the time where I spent minutes struggling to send a WhatsApp message but never did because I couldn't get past what the other person would think when they got the message. It was an actual trip across time. I could not get over the improvement I saw in me. Just 2 years ago, I was at a rehabilitation center for a smoking addiction I had, and a year after that, I was beaten up and left in the middle of nowhere. But here I was, healing intentionally for over 5 months now. At that time, I was not even close to being healed, but to being healed. I still am not, but I am way beyond anything of being anxious. In the middle of this, in the middle of the ecstasy, I got a glimpse of all the time I could have been better but wasn't. All the time where I had no boundaries. All the time where I should have chosen me but did not. And all the times where I did not choose to stay inside but stayed anyways, because I thought to myself, what if I do something so embarrassing I won't be able to show my face again? It was a very painful way to live. It's a painful way for anybody to live their short life, their short time here on earth, and nobody should live their lives trapped in a mental box for the rest of their life. So that's just one of the chapters. I made sure to make my chapters short. So not to waste time, I'm gonna move to the preview of the book that I'm working on. It's not finished. I'm trying to make the book into hardcover compared to the ones I have, which are in PDF form and can be found online. So here we go. Only Mom Will Do. A mother-son enmeshment. When a relationship with mom breaks boundaries. Nsoko, you need a girlfriend. These words marked a great change in my life. To be told I needed a girlfriend, and from what I thought was God or his voice speaking through a father figure who held great respect and occupied a great space in my spiritual life, was nerve-wracking. A lot of questions flooded my mind. Does God want to give me something by first providing me with a wife? Is this how it happened for Adam and Eve? What will happen if I fail to get a girlfriend? And what is this nerve-wracking emotional pain I am feeling? Since when are relationships intimidating for me? Were they always intimidating and I just didn't notice because dating then meant sex and fleeting romance? Never did relationships mean commitment, love, intimacy, conflict resolution, acceptance, mutual engagement, healthy independence, etc. In that moment in time, I had to look back in time to the only relationship I knew, or few relationships in my childhood. I looked back and concluded that I knew how relationships worked. After all, I was the knight in shining armor, not just to my mother but to my grandmother as well. I knew very well to listen, take responsibility, work, and caretake. I worked hard in these relationships and quickly learned that a man must do all in his power to meet the needs of women, especially those he is in a relationship with, irregardless of how he is treated. I looked at myself and concluded that this man must have heard from God. Besides, I was serving God and was sort of beloved, in quotes, among my peers. And that was proof enough for me to conclude that I am capable of, again, in quotes, taking care of another person. Finally, my lifelong purpose being realized. All the years of caretaking were going to pay off, and since it was God, in quotes, who told me, or somebody who acted in God's authority that told me I needed a girlfriend, I concluded that God himself had to show me who I needed to make my girlfriend. I looked at all the coincidences and signs that may show me to my other half, the one person who will maybe love me. After that, it was time for me to play the role that I was always good at playing, a role I was silently seduced to play, a role that took my childhood from me, a role that left me hypersensitive to other people's needs, moods, and well-being. God knows I tried to escape this huge burden that he had now placed on my shoulders, but his messenger had a grandiose godly glow to him. He seemed sure of this. He seemed sure that God really wanted this. So sure that he didn't even need to face me to tell me what God had told him. It was so surreal that it didn't feel real. It really felt like God had come down from heaven and was directly speaking to me. What trust, what responsibility, what joy, what confusion was sown in my head. So basically this is it. I'm not sure when the book is going to finish, and I don't have a time frame basically for it. There's still a lot of research that I feel like I need to go into the book. But like I said, I'm planning to have the book, to publish the book in hard copy, and have hopefully have hard copies across the bookstores if possible. So yes, this is me. Please like, share and subscribe. Bye. Don't forget to comment.